If you argue that the GNU is working, show me where they are hiring people today. Show me.
So the DA is opposed to increasing the minimum wage. Minimum wage is a very, very basic element of economic justice. And in a country that is the most unequal in the world, it could only be a party of privilege that would oppose an increase in the minimum wage, especially in a country where we have CEOs of large corporations earning so much money that what they earn in a day would take millions of South Africans to earn over many, many years.
Yo, what's happening, guys? Your boy Uncle P with another one. I wanted to tackle this topic of minimum wage and why it's important that people understand that the fact that illegal foreigners or even legal foreigners take jobs and accept less than minimum wage, how it affects the economy. And why I keep telling people that the GNU is not here to help the people, that the DA is not here for the people. Because when I say it, people say that I'm uneducated, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is one of the reasons why I find videos, and I want to thank everyone, Rams and everyone else on TikTok. Sorry if I didn't mention your name. When I edit, I'm going to put two names here, Rams and the other one, that sent me a lot of videos on TikTok that I use to do my content. I appreciate everybody that sends me videos and links, that asks me to speak about topics. Guys, minimum wage is a very, very big and a very important thing. Allow me to bring you guys someone to explain what minimum wage is and how important it is, and why a country like South Africa has such systems, and why you see the whole world is trying to walk into South Africa, because this is the same system that Europe uses. But people who lack knowledge think that South Africans are getting money from their slave masters. If y'all guys watched my previous video, you know what I'm talking about. But before we get there, let's check this out.
Today I'm going to talk to you about the minimum wage in South Africa and how it is set. Now, the South African government has set a minimum hourly rate for minimum wages in South Africa. This means that every employee, whether you're working part-time or seasonal, is entitled to a minimum hourly rate, and it is an offense to pay below this rate. The government calculates this rate based on the cost of living and inflation. The current rate is 23 Rand 19 per hour. If you're getting paid less than that, you can report them to the Department of Labor.
If you're getting paid less than that, you can report them to the Department of Labor. If you're getting paid less than that, you can report them to the Department of Labor. If you're getting paid less than that, you can report them to the Department of Labor. Who can report to the Department of Labor? Legal people, people who are citizens, who are legal in the country, who are not worried about their identity, who pay their taxes, UIF registered, and everything else is in place. So who are being hired and paid less than minimum wage? Foreigners, because they can't go complain because they technically have no right. Like Julius Malema said, slave work. Slave work. And the fact that they're allowing illegal foreigners or just foreigners to walk in here and take these jobs and accept less than minimum wage, which is illegal in the country, which is against the law, allowing people to come into your country and break the law, and you see it as normal, that's an insult, especially when it's coming from politicians. They have no issue to let you know that they are fully aware that unemployment is increasing. But their lack of education, I don't know if they lack education or understanding, or the stupidity is just too much that they end up saying statements like this.
Unemployment is increasing, but increasing at a decreasing rate.
Guys, I'm sorry, man. My 22% pass rate won't allow me to understand that statement. We are being led by idiots. If the minimum wage currently is not even sufficient to cater to the increase of food and everything else, just the basic need because of the influx of foreigners. The things people don't understand the effect of influx of foreigners that is doing in this country. They don't understand that the impact it has on the economy, on everything, the health system, the price of basic needs. That even the bare minimum right now, the basic salary is no longer covering things the way it should.
Look, I think anyone who hears 27 Rand 58 cents already thinks, well, that's so little, but that's the minimum wage that we're sitting with at the moment. So let's start with your reaction in March when that minimum wage was announced.
Thing. The national minimum wage needs to be increased higher than inflation so that we can begin to get parity over a period of time. However, since then, we have seen major increases in cost of living. So we've seen major increases, for instance, in the price of electricity, 15% in some municipalities. We have seen massive increases in municipal services, water services, rates, etc. We've seen interest rates remaining high. And all of this is eating away at the ability of households, number one, to feed their families properly, and number two, to create a little bit of a savings cushion, because when inflation hits us again in 2 years' time, then at least people have the ability to survive a cost of living crisis. And
you know what I always say? People who don't have a future don't care for the futures of others. Most of these foreigners that are coming into South Africa, they've lived the worst kind. If you have been watching my videos on the influx of foreigners from Zimbabweans to Nigerians to Mozambicans, there's more coming. You would see that it's in an alarming rate. Because they no longer see future in their country, they don't care for the future of South African kids or South Africans. They only care for themselves. Because remember, in the end, after they're done drying this land, they can just go back to their own land in the hopes that the little that they left there is still there. What about you who's here? What have you got left? The DA is clearly not for the people, and I've been saying this for a very long time. And this GNU government that everybody's praising and everybody is being misled by the little things that is being done, it's just really sad. Why do I say this? I like receipts. Maybe my words don't mean much, maybe the words of somebody else does. Those of you who have made it this far, I want to thank you. You guys are true supporters of the page. I appreciate that you guys are willing to watch the videos and the adverts. I get paid when you guys watch these adverts, and it allows me to continue to bring you guys this content. I want to ask you guys a question. You saw the first video? You saw the people striking? Those are the youth of South Africa, right? Striking to the ANC for work. Tell me what's the difference between that video and the video I'm about to post now.
This is reporting it foot and mouth. Foot and mouth, goodbye. Foot and mouth.
Please do me a favor, comment below and tell me what's the difference between the two videos. Because I see a massive difference there. I see landowners, I see owners of this nation, I see owners of this work, I see owners of this employment, and I see thieves, criminals, desperate, individuals coming to take what is not theirs. Because if they were good people and they knew what was right for themselves, they would have fought for that in their own country. And if they knew they couldn't fight it in their own country, they would have found the legal and the right way to enter into another country and do right by this country, so this country does not end up like their country. But that's not what they are doing. Tell me what is the difference between the two pictures, if there isn't in your head. And see the dangers that we are facing. Look at the amount of people that are striking for employment and the amount of people that are entering for employment. And you tell me if South Africa has no right to fight back for what is rightfully theirs. I'm your boy Uncle P. I'll see you guys on the next one.